Good day, everyone. Let me just fire up this live stream, get the link shared out. Give me a second here. I hope you're all doing well. One more second, just gonna share this link a few more places. Hey, everyone. Hope you're all doing great. Yeah, so today I'll do some altcoin requests, and I might take fewer requests, and we'll go a little deeper on everything. So fewer coins, but more in depth. First question: Bitcoin to 12K or not? That is not the question that I have the answer to. All right, let's get started. I might not do them in order. I might pick and choose a little bit, but for this first one, I'll just go with the first request, which is DOT. And I am going to start everything from scratch. We'll just go through the process here. So typically when I'm charting alts, I start on a high time frame, and I usually use the Binance chart, although I trade on Bybit and prefer Bybit. Typically there's deeper price action on Binance. So the first thing I do is I start marking out high time frame structure. You could name your line. So I'm using a horizontal ray here. And the great thing about these is they move with your chart and your timeline, so you can always see the label of the line no matter where you go on the time frame. And what we're doing is we just want to be aware of support and resistance. Actually, it's just better to duplicate this line. You can hold Control and drag off a line. And the whole point of this is, one, you're looking for ideas, but when you come to this chart and you're on a time frame, you want to be aware of what levels you're looking at, right? And what the context is. You can also snap these to the wick. That's best practice. Holding Control as well. I think this line is, this level is probably important. Now let's just be aware of our high time frame volume profile levels. So right now on Binance, at least, we're right on the point of control. So we can name this major POC. And so the process I look at is, first I need to mark out all the levels, and then I need to look for ideas. And I'd also like to be aware of the volume profile levels. It's the same here on the local range. Now, I won't do this here, but I would also go back and pull the local levels on Bybit and just look for any major differences. All right, so let's pull some fibs in this local range. Actually, let's do... And we'll probably clean up the chart a little bit. You can also put everything in folders. You can put the high time frame horizontals in folders. So right here, there's a pretty clear idea for like a liquidity grab target. Let me turn off the... Which would be for DOT to continue up here. Of course, we need to reclaim the point of control and swing failure this high, right? So any high time frame, all these horizontals are potential swing failure liquidity grab targets. And so a short setup that could be interesting would be to come up, tap this major fib, grab the liquidity above this high, reject. And if there's some weakness, something like this would be interesting. Shorting the loss of this level. And, you know, it's probably like a 4-hour type situation. Now, it's very possible, because this is the daily chart, that we come down into a lower time frame here. And there's some more precise entries based on local structure. You know, maybe we form, like, I'll give a quick example really quick here. So like Sol, for example, is approaching a major golden pocket, and there's sort of like a horizontal level here as well. Now, if you were looking at this level down here, the setup might not be as clear, but if you come to a lower time frame, well, because we front ran this level, you probably have really tight invalidation if you get a rejection here to short a swing failure of this high into the key level. So we might get something like that on DOT. But I think you need to take profits down at the point of control. You can see on a lower time frame here, we've marked out that major point of control, which would have been available well before price came up here. And when price impulsed up, we impulsed right into the point of control with a really clean rejection here. So certainly an important level of about 14%. Tested as resistance, wick through it, and now it is our local resistance, right? Probably best to pull this here. So yeah, I was kind of thinking I might look for low time frame ideas on everything I chart and the high time frame ideas. So the high time frame idea would be price driving up towards this level around $7.65. Maybe there's an opportunity to get on the this would have been a decent setup. So right here, this is the 4-hour chart on Binance. This is just a local golden pocket retracement. There's clearly a liquidity idea into this wick. So we impulsed up, we came back, we refilled that impulse, which is common price action, right into this golden pocket. So this actually would have been a nice quick long entry, even using the reclaim of this as a potential trigger. And we can probably see that a little clearer on the 15-minute chart. You know, I'm a pretty patient person. I don't try to jump into a position if I am not prepared for it. But something like this, coming down and retesting this level, would maybe be a long trigger for me as well. I'd be targeting up towards this level up here. So about 26% away. And maybe look for a short up here. I don't know if this channel is so likely to be relevant here. Of course, alts, I always talk about this, love the 786. So if this level just broke and we came into this descending channel idea into the 786, that might be of interest. Probably prudent to pull a volume profile across the local range. Certainly a lot of confluence here. You'll see this a lot where the point of control aligns beautifully with the golden pocket retracement. You know, this, if you think about this, the point of control is the price in which the most volume is transacted. And the fact that it aligns so commonly with a future golden pocket retracement is really interesting. There's something to be said about how price deviates from these high volume price points to a degree that turns that level into a future golden pocket. We even see this here on Bitcoin in reverse. We have our local range point of control on the 1 hour chart right here, and it's also our golden pocket of this move, right? So that's a 61.8% retracement of this move, the resistance fib. And you see it all the time, so just something to note. It's a good confluence, certainly. But of course, this was already a confluence, and we bounced perfectly off the point of control and golden pocket on this retracement. So had I been looking at DOT before, this would have been certainly a level of interest for a potential long setup. And hopefully this all makes sense to you guys. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the kind of stuff that I teach in the Lucky Apes trading floor. But yeah, this is just the style of analysis I use. Probably, I mean, clearly, I don't really have, I think there's probably a case to be made that price can come up into the highs of this range. So a long setup here, keep in mind this is extended and will become irrelevant locally. I want to take profits here and maybe look for kind of like a scalp short into the point of control, and then look for another long, targeting up into the highs of the range. I think it's likely over the next month that DOT sees higher. Of course, anything can happen, and if we hold this point of control as resistance either here or after a breakdown, well then, yeah, we can just come back down into the lows of the range. But that's why we use risk management and invalidation. I wonder if I should get into the habit of just sharing this chart directly into the Discord right now. Because what happens is these charts sort of get lost. I'm gonna do that because just easier for people to come back and reference. So let me mark out some key ideas here. Whatever, we'll just do continuation that way. That's the long idea. That's the short idea. Clean up the chart a little bit. I'll do the next one a little quicker. Let's just set this up like this. Of course, people will have to reference the live stream for context. I'll just share it in the public alt TA channel for now. All right, let's look at ape. See that a few times. I'm going to put this in a group. Some of the existing TA on here will be from old live streams. All right. This was a high time frame short idea, or low time frame short idea at the time. Just going over, but all right. I'm only gonna pull the volume profile locally here. Let's just pull it over the whole thing. That shouldn't be so different. I'm going to mark out this, oops. I'm going to mark out this horizontal here. We can, again, it looks like price is driving higher here. Similar idea as DOT, except here we have the 786 of this local range, a swing failure idea of these highs. Let's get rid of this fib. Something like this. This low looks like a likely target of some kind. Of course, I'm extending fibs that don't exist yet. But it'd be interesting to come down and sweep this low for a target. Again, looking for local structure as well when this level approaches. Maybe this could be used as confluence, this channel. This would put us right around a New York Open. Right around here on the 20 tomorrow's New York Open, if we did impulse up here. So anyways, that'd be an interesting idea for a short potentially. But everything, I'm just kind of thinking about structure here. I would keep it simple here. I mean, if you're actively trading a coin like Ape and you want to actively be, watching as ranges develop for different levels, there's probably different ideas. But a continuation from here would be interesting. So short up here, continuation down here. This would be interesting long and short setups. It's worth noting that the point of control is coming right in at the bottom of the golden pocket. This isn't the local point of control, but it's pretty darn close. Just wonder, it'd be nice to get a little bit tighter here. I mean, you'd have to be watching how price is developing. For example, if we came down here and we were sort of creating a local range and then we swing failure to low, you could have tighter invalidation like on a local price structure move. Of course, always just aware of major highs and major lows as liquidity targets. So this is why this would be a target for a long. And of course, there's probably short opportunities up here. This looks, let me make sure I'm pulling from the appropriate highs. This looks suspect as well for a higher time frame level. Kind of the same setup, just pulled from a different place. One fib's pulled from here, but the idea of coming up and sweeping this high as well. All right, I'm just gonna share this in the Discord really quick, at least for some context, right? Are there local ideas here on Ape? I mean, Ape just swing failured its local high, right? In the context of a range, of course, this would have been a nice local short. Just something like this. You know, scalping a developing range. But I think it's a little late entering now. Maybe we bounce off the VWAP here. But anyways, we've gone over the higher time frame levels. I'll do a quick look at ETH, just because, and I won't rechart this, just because I know a lot of people are interested in ETH. So worth noting, ETH came into a relatively major level here, right? And you can notice there's a lot of similarities. You know, why am I interested in that dot setup, which is a swing failure into the golden pocket of a previous high on the 4-hour chart? You see this type of price action all the time. And this was actually a short I took on ETH, which was the sweep of this high, right? That's that 4-hour high right into the key level. Took that short. And I also took this long at the time because we just had this nice local range. We swept the lows, long trigger, shorting up here. Now, I did take a long yesterday. I got stopped out. I moved half my stop loss into profit, the rest at entry. It was a small winner. But the major target on ETH locally, that's a little bit of an oxymoron, would be to come down and sweep these lows again, right? And continue on ranging. That could be a nice tight invalidation long setup. Of course, we can always just break down. I like to wait for the reclaim of the level, but even then you can break down, so you always need to use risk management. Now we have this local point of control. That's an interesting level. I'll always be watching for potential short setups and profit taking on any longs. But there will be some, you'd have to pull fibs at the time, but there's the idea of just sweeping just these local highs, right? We consolidated, we broke down, coming up and sweeping these highs. It's a little liquidity idea. For major targets, on ETH. Well, just being aware, of course, of your major liquidity ideas, but I'm tentatively bullish on everything. I'm looking for some pullbacks, definitely, but I do think it's likely that we take these highs at some point, and on Bitcoin, I think it's likely we take the 25K highs. But trading this local range, taking profits, the ideal situation, I'm going to simplify it really quickly, like how I would prefer to trade. I'm going to simplify it, but this is the concept. My ideal situation would be to have a long from here, to have a short from here, to have profits taken on my long, profits taken on my short, my stops at entry. Once you get into that position, the worst case, now you can take other trades as well. You can compound your shorts, you can compound your longs, but just in this simplified concept, when you have a long here, a short here, profits taken on both, you're winning no matter what. If price just breaks down, your shorts carry on. If price breaks up, your longs carry on. The worst case scenario is you get stopped out of your long and then stopped out of your short and you don't re-enter anything, but you've already taken profit. So the worst case scenario at that point is you're winning. But anyways, locally sweeping these range lows. And then beyond that, I would just be looking at probably this level here. Price likes to create an impulse, and you always want to watch for where that impulse started to be retested. But we have to break down this range first. And we do have a lot of bullish absorption on Bitcoin on this local range, but we have some bearish absorption forming here. So I'm certainly interested in long ideas on Bitcoin. Maybe that something like this could be interesting at this point. I pointed this out on the Discord. Aware of this level, but also just to sweep the highs again. Maybe we hold this ascending structure. Now, of course, if we just break down and no reclaim of this level, then just looking for lower. We have some fib ideas here, but not a lot of structure. So I wouldn't be surprised to just see us, if we start breaking this local structure, just come right down back into these lows. And we have a major level at 19,200. But anyways, I'm not doing Bitcoin right now. This is sort of a little free form. All right, everybody wants me to check APT. It's been requested a few times in here and requested on Twitter as well. Just some little analysis on there. All right, let me just do something here. It's very common when I do these for people to want analysis on the coin that's pumped the most. That's typically... I just want to see... I'm not hyper familiar with the history of APT. There's no real deeper chart here, so that's fine. It's very hard to do technical analysis on coins without price history, right? Because you don't have levels. Let's just take everything on APT here with a grain of salt, because on the worst case scenario, for technical analysis is, and that people have requested me to do technical analysis on a coin that launched that day. So it's like, you have nothing. You just have this. And it's like, okay, well, there's nothing really to do here. There's price discovery to be done. So let's see. Here, there was certainly probably ideas to be like, this is perfectly reasonable structure to analyze. But up here, we're just in price discovery. So we need the chart to produce some levels. Now, if we want to look for retracement ideas, let's just be aware, first of all, of our major fibs. All right. Yeah, so I'll just tell you some setups I'd be interested in. If somebody said, you got to trade APT, what would you be looking at? Let me make this line thinner. All right, so the levels I'd be interested in, let's just start on a local time frame. If I got it, I would be interested. Let's just see if we have a fib extension here really quick. I'm gonna look at long and short ideas. If we tap the 1618. All right, if I got it, I might look to take a swing failure short of this high. If I don't, I wouldn't worry about it. Maybe there's a different setup that develops in the future. That looks something like this. And then I would look to trade it down into the 382, a sweep of these lows. I'd be interested in a long setup that looks like this. And I'd be interested in a higher time frame idea if we do continue to break down. Of a long here. At the time, if I took this long, of course, there's going to be more price action. I would pull a volume profile across all this price action. And look at this, just pointing out, this point of controls aligned with the golden pocket again. This level's interesting, of course. I wouldn't ignore it. There might be a setup here that's of interest. I certainly wouldn't personally be interested in looking for longs up here. I might try a short if we swept these highs, and longs down here. Just want to look at, let me just go to the 4-hour chart actually. All right, that's my APT analysis. I'm going to share that in the Discord as well. And I'm not predicting what will happen. Of course, I'm just marking out ideas that if I got them, I'd be interested in trading them. I just set an alert. I'd set an alert here too. Someone's asking, I've got this question a few times, what is the CBD indicator I use? It's not on TradingView. It's on a website called coinalyze.net. But now that, TradingView DM me, maybe I should tell them to add order flow data to their services in their package. All right, let's do DOGE. I just want to see how different this price action might be. If there's any difference between Doge and Bybit here. I mean, sorry, Bybit and Binance. Not really here. Point of control is a little different, but there's a high volume area here as well. Give me a swing failure into the golden pocket. It's always a short setup I'd consider. Give me a point of control aligned with the golden pocket. Always a long idea I'd be interested in. I think we can keep it simple with Doge. So high time frame ideas. Of course, any resistance can break. So I won't say this every time, but you always need to use risk management. Come down and retest this wick into the point of control. Of course, this isn't our golden pocket now, but it would be if we made this new high. Sweeping this wick would be nice. If we swept that wick, you could technically trade this a little tighter. Enter in up here. Let's just look at some local levels really quick. Oh, big fan of Yeah. I mean, there's always local ideas in a range, right? Given this, could be considered a swing failure and a back test of this horizontal. It's not surprising we're getting some kind of reaction there, but I think ideas like this would be the most clear. Let's get rid of this ascending structure for now. Get rid of this too. It's not really pertinent to the idea that's on the chart. Just sharing this in the Discord. Just looking through the chat really quick. Let's do FTM really quickly. This actually would have been a great short setup on Ape, just the sweep of this local range high. Yes, I know my ABCs. I think it would be interesting for for FDM to come up and sweep this high into the 786 for a potential short idea. We also had a really nice swing failure last night of this low. Just a sweep of these lows. Produced a somewhat interesting long setup. But yeah, this is very nice. Like to see price come up, show some weakness. Loss of this level could be an interesting short idea. We'll get rid of this. The idea here after sweeping these highs would be a deeper pullback. You know what? I used to trade FTM quite a bit. It really does like the 0.5 fib. I think a reasonable idea would be to sweep this impulse low. For a target for shorts. I don't see the clearest long setups, but you know, like we have fibs here, but there's no structure really. Not a lot of confluence. But maybe a sweep of this low could be a long idea. Just sharing this in the Discord. All right, let's do BNB. Some old analysis on here. This bounce off the 786 was quite nice. All right. There's probably some retest ideas here. Again, we're developing kind of a swing failure setup into the local golden pocket. It's also a retest of these old highs. You know, the main thing is it's not just about the fib, it's about the structure, right? Are there liquidity ideas at these key fibs? Is there confluence? This looks... This is probably a golden pocket here. Just curious. You know, maybe there's some ideas to find longs in this local range, targeting up into level overhead. You probably need to do something. If you want to wait for a reclaim of structure, currently we have this low. But of course we could front run the level and develop more structure here, which could give a slightly different setup. But that can't be analyzed at the moment. It could be something like that. If there's some strength down here, this local structure holds up. Something like that. But anyways, there's a high time frame short idea probably up here, but you'd be looking for weakness, right? Maybe put in a local high and sweep it for the setup. I think it's a little ambitious to target these lows maybe, but maybe not. All right, this is kind of confusing. If I share this in Discord, people can watch the live stream and figure it out. Yeah, maybe this would be an idea to come back down, retrace this impulse, and that could be a nice long idea. Pushing back up into the highs of the range. The main thing is I'm sharing the levels, right? The like gist of the idea. I'm drinking coffee. Someone's saying to stay hydrated. Someone's asking what time frame do I pull fibs? Less than 15 minutes. When are they most helpful? You can pull fibs on any time frame. I mean, it just depends on the time frame you're trading. You know, we can go here. You'll find this happening over and over again. In this 5-minute chart local range, price comes up into the 786, rejects. We actually have a few ideas here. So at the time, this is was the golden pocket from the last pivot high. So 786 from this move, then from this high to this low, golden pocket, That's where we put in our high. There was also some high time frame confluence here. Not high time frame, sorry, but this wick, which the volume profile is kind of covering up, was also confluence for a back test here. But the point being is, you can go to the 1 minute chart and price will be moving between fibs. It just depends on the time frame that you're looking to enter and trade. We can even go down to this move. We'll probably find alts love the 786, by the way. So price moves up, makes a new high about 3.5% away, comes down and then taps the 786 for another impulse, which is also a retest of this previous low. So this idea, you know, if you didn't know this was a 5-minute chart and you thought it was a 1-day chart and you were marking out your levels, it's the exact same, right? Maybe you're looking to short a swing failure of this high. Just mark out your structure, mark out your levels, and price, you'll find, interacts with them very cleanly. John Beatty is saying, can someone recap what's already been covered so I don't ask for a chart on something that's already been covered? You can always go back and watch a recording. But I'm not going to even do every single request anyways, right? All right, let's just scroll through here again. I want to just look at this. So AVAX, I was watching it here because we were grinding up along this ascending structure, and it did just look like price wanted to break out of there. But what do you know? A pretty clean interaction with this key fib. I think I'd gone over this in an old live stream. The idea of coming back and retesting this point of control. This is AVAX, by the way. Very nice interaction with the 786. But this certainly looks like there's likely to be some kind of continuation after a retracement. I'm curious if this is the 123. What is this, an extension? So I wonder if something like this. I'm just looking for a long idea here. Maybe you have something like a running. I know this is getting a little messy. I'm just kind of thinking of some ideas. I'd be interested in a short if we swept these highs and lost them. targeting down into this low. And I'd be interested in a long. Looking for another leg up. Again, I'm not drawing what will happen. I'm just drawing the basic structure of the idea. You know, you have to analyze prices that actually comes to key levels, of course. Also, to answer your question, this person asking what's already been covered, I'm sharing all the charts in the Discord, so you can also check in the Discord and you'll see all the charts. Well, I might wrap it up here. You know, if anyone wants to do, I'll maybe do a couple more in the Discord if people want to leave some requests there. But my thought was do an hour of altcoin analysis. And the most important thing here is that we're covering core concepts, right? These are ideas you can use in your analysis. Be patient, mark out key levels, wait for key levels. It doesn't have to be on higher time frames. You can analyze the market on a lower one. But yeah, I'll do a couple more throughout the next couple hours in the Discord if you leave requests there. And we'll get a couple more charts out. All right, thanks for joining.